Welcome, everybody, to our monthly podcast where we talk about a bunch of stuff. Got a lot on the docket today.
A lot on the plate today.
Don't know if we're going to be able to get through everything, but it is what it is. Thank you all for listening. I'm Johnny. Ryan, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Like you said, we have a lot to talk about. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff that has come out in this past month, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Let's get it. All right, Zach, how
What's
you doing?
up? So excited to be here. Doing great.
It's your boy.
Lovely to talk to all of you. It's your boy.
Daniel, how you doing?
What up? Doing good. Just living life.
Yep.
Enjoying life.
Right on. All right, well.
Love that for us.
That is like your new thing.
Great.
Love that.
Love that. I don't know where I picked that up, but I love it for us.
It's good. Yeah, I love it. It's great. We are super excited to be making this content for everybody. We release our podcast every third Tuesday, except for this month because we wanted to make room. Make way and
take a running
make room. Make Ray. We wanted to make Ray for our fantasy book club episode to be released. So this is actually coming in on the 4th Tuesday of August, but it is what it is. We also have every Monday a D&D actual play stream, either Ravenloft Misfits, go check us out on Twitch, or
which has
our
a hyphen.
one shot of the month.
It's very important to say Ravenloft Mist-Fits.
Right.
Watch
I don't know if you're going to be able to see us unless you do that. So Ravenloft Mist-Fits. Anyways, or you could just find our social media pages. We have it
Twitch.tv/fucking
everywhere. So anyways, yeah, go follow us on Twitch. And we also have our one shots of the month that we get through. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Come join us. We also have a Discord server. You can find that link in the description of whatever podcast you're listening on. And we also have a Patreon. Thank you to all of our patrons, Jack, Heather, Steven, and Kristen. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's start off with Marvel's What If.
Oh,
the first episode.
This was a good thing.
First episode was what if Steve Rogers was not Captain America and instead Peggy Carter had taken the super soldier serum way back in World War II. I thought it was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's tight to see a female character kicking ass. That was pretty sweet.
It's a cool spin on Captain America. I was into it. I like retro World War II Ironmonger. I thought that was neat. Big spoilers for the whole show, by the way. Go watch it. It's fun, nonsense. So it's not really like anything to worry about. But
if you've seen any of the Marvel movies in general, you're gonna get the vibe of what's happening in the movies anyway, or the show. So like we said, there's not really a whole lot of spoilers necessarily. I feel like
unless you don't want to hear what happens, then skip ahead.
It's really just like a half hour of callbacks
5 minutes, 10
in
minutes.
a good way,
Which is something I could say that they did so well with that first episode, is that it is just the Captain America first Avenger film, but just like condensed down to like a 30-minute highlight reel essentially. Although with a twist ending. Because of the alternate reality, they had a different ending.
Things are slightly different.
Which was cool. And I don't
some
think
things are completely different, because like what you were saying, the Ironmonger thing, like that is by far the most complete left turn, because that didn't happen. And I don't know why Peggy Carter becoming Captain America, or Captain Carter, I guess is what called herself.
Captain Britain. I think the idea was that they got the Tesseract sooner, and the Iron Man suit is just like ingrained in Stark blood. I guess that's true. Yeah.
It's just that good of an idea. I will say that before watching the first episode, which I watched both episodes last night, What If was like right on the periphery of the like I don't care anymore line. Like I couldn't tell which side of it kind of was on.
Yeah,
because I think for all these properties, there's that point where you have to say like that's as far as I'm gonna commit. Like I know that I definitely came to that point like with Star Wars and with like the shows, because I was like Mandalorian, yes, Bad Batch, like I ended up just dropping off of, so I wasn't sure where What If was gonna hit for me, and I didn't actually. It's not that I didn't think the first episode was good. I just didn't enjoy it so much because it was such like a direct, like retelling of the first Avengers story, which, in my opinion, is the worst of the Phase 1 movies, and also the one that I've seen most recently.
Disagree, but okay.
Although I've watched all of the Phase 1 movies recently. But the second episode fixed a lot of those issues, and for me, justified their existence by not just making it a little different, but making it like way different.
Completely different.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I do disagree with you as well. I agree with Zach. I think I'm not gonna pick my worst, film from Phase 1. It's definitely not Captain America 1. I thought, it's fine. I know a lot of people don't like it as much, and that's fine.
Does Iron Man 2 count as Phase 1?
Yes.
Okay, I don't. I ignore
listen,
Iron Man 2.
I like Iron Man 2, but Captain America's better. Like,
yeah, sure, I'll agree with you there. You're right. If you include Iron Man 2, I agree.
And then
Captain
also,
America 1 is not.
I think that movie's fine. It's a fine movie. It wasn't as bad as Cap.
You're ignoring also in the Incredible Hulk in the room.
I am ignoring the Hulk. That actively.
I also don't count that.
I don't count that.
Well, that's your problem then, Daniel. You're not counting part of Phase 1 then.
No, I'm counting Iron Man 1, Captain America 1, Thor 1, Avengers.
Yeah, you're missing the two bad movies from Phase 1.
Iron Man 2. Okay, Hulk, I would argue, does not have anything to do with these movies.
Yes,
Iron
it
Man
does,
2,
though.
Shut
because
up,
at the ending credits, Nick Fury was there, so 100%.
We'll have to wait about Shang-Chi.
I haven't seen that movie since I was 8, so I really don't remember.
Yeah,
but
that was what
Iron Man
started
2 is like actually like it's fucking Robert Downey Jr. He's doing the next thing in his story. It's important. You can't overlook it and say it doesn't count as a movie.
Because it has 2 in it, I think it's in Phase 2, even though I know that's not how it works.
Right. And that's why, I'll take that argument. I still think it counts because it's pre-Avengers, and I also think Cap was better.
Anyways, back to what?
Yeah, so my bad.
No, it's fine.
I completely agree with you, though, Daniel. Though I think that episode 2 of What If was a perfect example of what the show is supposed to be. I wasn't sure what to expect with this episode, to set the stage for the audience who maybe have or have not watched it. The second episode is where T'Challa, the Black Panther, doesn't necessarily become the Black Panther, but he gets abducted by,
Yondu
from Guardians of the Galaxy.
His people, because they're so dumb that they don't even know what they don't even know what I guess. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're going for Peter Quill. So
they don't know what he looks like, and they just pick up some random kid.
So I wasn't sure if it was just going to be, like Daniel said, like a retelling of Guardians of the Galaxy with a slight spin, but it wasn't. It was a completely, like its own story, and I love the creativity there. I was not expecting, this is going to be spoilers, but like we already talked about
Super spoiler.
I was not expecting Thanos to just be
Thanos,
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
If only they hadn't put Josh Brolin's name in the intro credits, then it would have been a surprise.
I wasn't thinking, I thought they were putting like the entire cast for What If in the credits every time. I didn't even pay any mind to Josh Brolin's name being there outside of just him being in the show. I knew he was going to be in the show. I just didn't know it was going to be in this episode.
Right.
But
I didn't expect it the way it was anyway.
No, not at all.
So that's one of the biggest things that I want to talk about is why do you think with T'Challa becoming Star-Lord, why is that the catalyst to bringing Thanos back straight is what they say, where he's not bad, and he's like, yeah, I guess he was right. I'm not going to just snap and kill half of the universe.
Because T'Challa's that good of a dude. He's that
just
good.
A cool guy. And like, you get it right at the beginning when he meets when he's getting the Power Stone, he meets the dude that shoots Quill. Like,
yeah.
Instead of being like, who? He's like, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan. So you get right away, like, T'Challa's just an infinitely more competent person.
He's so cool. Everyone loves him.
And everyone loves him just right off the bat.
The second thing I want to talk about this episode, which was hilarious, is this was a heist episode, which is great because it had all the heist tropes. And what's even funnier to me is in the back of my mind the entire time watching this, I was thinking about the Rick and Morty heist episode from season season 4, whatever season that
4,
was.
I believe.
Yeah, it was like I was just thinking of all the tropes that they were making fun of during that, because like one of the things in that episode in Rick and Morty is they make fun of the double cross and then the double cross, and they do exactly that in this episode.
The triple cross.
Like
he literally says it. Yeah.
They take themselves. I mean, it's part being animation, and they can lean into the goofy side a lot more. And also, it's a fast-paced show. Like, to be able to do what they're doing, they needed to be fast-paced and energetic. Yeah. And I think the way that they can have fun with it, like, my favorite moment was the throw line in the first episode where Bucky falls off the train and then Captain Carter catches him. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna rip my arm off!" Like, that's just such an in-your-face line, but it's funny.
Right.
As long as you make the connection, obviously, that he loses his arm. I know normal average viewers are missing that one. I mean, like, I guess Daniel missed it too.
I just thought it was a callback, you know.
But I mean,
it's silly, but I enjoyed it.
It's more for an inside joke for people who are actually paying attention. And you know,
no previous movies and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. But I definitely enjoyed all of the fun banter that they had, and like I said, like, it's a fun episode, and that's all.
Both of them were fun. Both of them were fun.
I enjoyed them.
Like you said, they're just really quick paced. They're not meant to get into the story itself. It's meant to show you that what if. That is the point of the show. And it's supposed to just be like, if this changed, this is what happens. Here's a cliff note kind of thing. And they're all self-contained-ish. Okay, what's your question, Dan?
My question for you is, okay, so you're right. I totally agree. That's clearly the thrust of the show. It's these self-contained stories. And I think that it's probably unlikely that any of our stories are going to directly interact with each other throughout the season. However, at the end of the second episode, without going into any spoilers, they show a brief tease of a scene, and the narrator, the watcher, says, "But that's a story for another time." Do you think that we're gonna get the other half of that story?
I think we will
in another episode. Because obviously, you know, T'Challa and the Reavers are off doing their Star-Lord, Peter Quill, Guardians of the Galaxy thing. So that exists separately. But do you think that they'll come back to this thing that they sort of teased as a result of everything
I think they very well
that
could.
Episode was about?
I'd watch
and then
it.
tell that story too.
I think they've already announced that they're doing a second season of this, so I could totally see that being a second season thing.
They could probably continue some of these stories.
To counterpoint, though, I believe there is a through line. They all are an individual thing, but I think what I've heard is they're crafting a multiverse Avengers team, kind of, to basically
like Secret Wars kind of thing.
No, not quite. More in a way, like, there are all these multiverse timelines now that have been created. You know, spoilers for Loki. You know, it's been out for long enough where I'm not uncomfortable talking about some of the things.
Right.
But from what I was hearing was, like, so this team is supposed to be one that's now trying to not police the universe, but kind of take on some of those things that are happening in all these different what if scenarios, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I think these are like these solo episodes leading up to like a team up type thing. Of like these characters.
Hadn't thought about that.
So we got Peggy, we got T'Challa as Star-Lord, and I think that's the direction they're going ultimately, but we'll see.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, like you said, with Loki, it created the multiverse, you know, and especially with Doctor Strange coming in with the multiverse madness, I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a little Easter egg in Doctor Strange of like these different what if like one-off things.
It could be.
That'd be cool. But yeah, it definitely seems like they're going in a direction to where like they're gonna make them meet up, or there's gonna be some sort of later on thing. I only meant one-offs, meaning that it didn't directly affect the next episode of the what if series. That's what it seems like.
That would surprise
there's only 2 episodes
hugely. I would be incredibly surprised if they really all team up. I just feel like that's
so. I mean,
that'd be cool though, if it happens.
There's some reason for that too. There's some shots in the trailer where you see the Black Panther Star-Lord with Gamora and Black Panther, which we know another episode is going to happen based on the trailer is that Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger is Black Panther.
Cool. Right.
So the fact that those people are all showing up in those same shots, is a pretty good indication. Potentially that is,
interesting.
an
I mean,
episode.
hey, sure.
But I know one of the episodes I'm most excited for, and this is gonna be the last thing I'll bring up, because the comic series for this was great, but the Marvel Zombies episode, I'm so excited to see what they do with that, because
That could be fun.
I mean,
Are they
like I
really
said-
doing one of those?
yeah, one of the episodes is a Marvel MCU Zombies.
That's cool.
It's pretty
I
cool.
think, yeah, it'll be pretty cool. I think
The
Spider-Man in that
comic's
one.
pretty metal, so I
It
don't
is.
know if they'll go
It
that
is.
far.
So the.
I mean, they're cursing like in the show.
No,
So-
this is like other next level.
gory.
It's
Got
the
it.
original Marvel Zombies comic was written by Robert Kirkman as well, who is, for people at home, the writer of Walking Dead. So
got
it does have some pretty, as Daniel put it, metal scenes.
Yeah.
Like the Marvel heroes are zombies who have their intelligence still, but they are flesh eating, and like they have a hunger that they can't satisfy. Basically, like
That's what's up. That's what's up.
it's pretty dark.
Sure.
But that I'll digress on that. That's a
Cool.
That's a conversation for another day.
There's another one of those comics I'd love to see, but they'll never do it because of rights issues. I'm pretty sure one of those what ifs is what if Punisher was Venom. I think that would be tight as hell.
That would
There's
be
no
sweet.
reason. There's no reason why they couldn't do that at some point.
I mean, if
Especially
way
if
down
Disney
the line they
buys,
integrate some of that Sony shit.
Well,
Sony stuff.
Well, you guys, Disney has the rights for TV shows and animation for Spider-Man.
Well, that's
and
true,
it's,
isn't it?
It's stuff. So
Maybe.
they could do honestly whatever the hell they want with Spider-Man for this animation, since it's a TV show and not a movie, which might be why they're leaning harder into TV shows
Animation.
and animation in
TV,
particular.
yeah.
But anyways,
Well, all right. With that being said, let's move on to Suicide Squad and another superhero in quotation marks movie. Daniel, you've seen it. Has anybody else seen it? I've seen
I
it.
didn't watch it.
All right. If you haven't seen Suicide Squad, there's gonna be some spoilers, so just be careful.
Well,
Maybe
we can
skip
keep
ahead.
it pretty light. We can keep it pretty light, I think.
Oh, I wanna get into it though.
Oh, you wanna
This
get into
is-
it? Hey,
this-
that's
Oh,
cool
I wanna
then.
get into it.
Oh,
There's
that's
gonna
cool.
be some spoilers.
Let's get in.
Spoil whatever you
have-
want. I don't care.
I have one question for you guys before you guys get too far into it. I haven't watched any of the DC films.
You don't need to.
Well, no. That's not my question. So we got
I've seen a
the
smattering.
first. We seen the first. I mean, I have seen some DC films as well. We talked about that, but I know they have the first Suicide Squad movie,
Didn't
Yes.
watch it.
and then they have the Harley Quinn spin-off Birds of
Birds
Prey
of Prey.
movie.
Birds of Prey.
Yep.
And then is this a third? Because I thought Harley Quinn was in another one as well with Miss
No, those are the three.
Okay, so I guess my question is, how much? I mean, obviously they don't tie into each other really much at all, but like, it's just
Are they
interesting.
connected?
You don't need to see the 1st one.
I'm not
the first-
concerned about needing to see it. It's just,
Right.
They are connected.
Okay.
Really?
They are connected. They do have the same characters, like higher up characters that are kind of controlling this Suicide Squad. But,
Okay.
I mean, you don't. Like, there's no real big reference to the first one to the point where it's just like, what are they
But-
talking about? You don't
But-
really even
right.
need to.
So like, you don't need the first one to understand, but in the context of this new movie, did the 2016 movie happen in the past?
I
Yes.
think so. Because basically, so the
Or do they
characters
not
that the
spell it
characters
out,
that
or-
are consistent are we've got Captain Boomerang, we've got Harley Quinn, we've got Rick Flag, and we've got Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
These four people are the same and are clearly
Right.
the same people, characters. And they live in the same universe. And
They do.
at the very beginning of the movie, Captain Boomerang and Harley exchange
Hey,
about how
I
they've
remember
like,
you.
they've been on the Suicide Squad before. They've done this all before. Yada 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 yada. And it would in the canon of the movies, the first Suicide Squad was essentially the origin story of the squad to begin with. And
Right.
this is kind of in a world where this has become commonplace that this
Right.
team has existed and it's cool.
I have not watched the first one, but was the conceit of that movie not that Amanda Waller like totally betrayed them at the end and like fucked them over?
Well, Amanda
or-
Waller does suck. I mean, that's
Well, right, but she like, I don't know. I mean, I'll watch the fucking movies, I guess. I'm talking out of my ass. Go on. Say
Amanda
her.
Waller is the woman that like controls them, right?
Yeah,
the one that's like being super manipulative.
I mean,
I'm just picturing a scenario where in the second movie she's like, I'm gonna gather up all these people I fucked over in the first movie, and we're gonna do this all over again.
Well, I mean, that's sort of how the comics are. That's sort of the vibe.
Right,
is she like fucks them? She fucks them. Every Suicide Squad movie, animated, filmic, all involve her screwing over the Suicide Squad in some capacity because she just is manipulating them because she doesn't care because it's the Suicide Squad. So yes, that is consistent as well. Yes, nobody likes her, but they don't have a choice.
Right. Yeah. So Suicide Squad.
Talk about it.
Initial thoughts. I thought it was. I mean, it was entertaining.
I give it an 8 out of 10. Wow, it was a good movie.
It was.
I enjoyed myself. I thought it was funnier more often than it wasn't.
Okay.
Agreed. It was actually like, I think it was better than the first one.
That's not hard to do.
That's Both of those things are true. And I saw the first one a lot.
I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna watch the first one, but maybe I'll watch the second one. That sounds okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the second one was definitely good. John Cena was actually really good in this movie.
Really?
I thought he was really good. I thought that the way that his character, I thought he was really good.
He gives the worst performance in the movie, which is not to say it was bad. I thought he was fine, but he does not stack compared to the incredible talent they have in this movie.
So what
Idris
you're saying
Elba
is
was very good, but
Idris Elba is one of the most talented working actors. If you put some Joe Schmo who's not an actor
for this movie.
up against
Of course
him,
they're gonna he's gonna knock it out.
But his character was so.
It was like a wrestling
one-sided though. It was just like, yeah.
Yeah,
so he
pulled it off.
I think that his skills were wasted on the character. I think.
Idris Elba or John Cena?
He was still good.
I think the best parts of his performance were when of John Cena's performance were when they were doing fight scenes because he was clearly doing all of his own stunts and he looked amazing. And that means you don't have to cut as much and you can keep his face in the frame because it is actually him. I thought Idris Elba's performance was incredible, especially considering the fact that there were a couple of times where there were lines where I'm like, that line shouldn't work, but because Idris Elba's just committing the fuck out of it, it totally does.
There was that one scene where like they what's her face, the top person and him kind of like came at each other. Like that one was like, ooh,
there's so many. Good. And also there's this like younger girl who I don't think has really been in anything else. I looked up her IMDb afterwards and I can't remember her name, but I should probably look it up on IMDb. But she played the rat catcher. I was completely unfamiliar with.
She was very
cool.
good.
She was an incredible actress. She gave the best performance of the movie. She was like insanely talented, and I can guarantee you'll be seeing her more.
So what you're saying is, Idris Elba was a masterclass as always. What you're saying is they hired a bunch of actors and a wrestler.
Yes.
And he's a wrestler among actors. And
and
that's what you get when that happens.
It's not necessarily, it's not bad or anything, but
most wrestlers can only act so good.
He did not compare to the rest of the cast.
He really wasn't that bad,
I'm not saying he was bad.
His character was exactly what he needed.
We're talking
John Cena to be, though.
We're talking like Oscar level.
Okay, but like his character would not allow him to be Oscar level because his character was so just linear.
It was well written for him.
But
agreed.
Yeah. If actors can act this good because it's their job, most wrestlers, not all, most wrestlers can usually only get to like here. You know?
Yeah, no, and he was well utilized. You know, his delivery was fine. You know, his character was very one note. But
wasn't Sylvester Stallone the shark as well?
Yes, he was King Shark. That was where the writing really shined.
Great. I did not know Stallone.
The only bits I've seen from like the promotional stuff was I think a couple TikToks that had interaction between John Cena's character and King Shark, and those are pretty entertaining. So.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it was very funny. It was well utilized.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I watched this movie at home because I just haven't gone out to the movie theaters yet.
And Suicide Squad 2 would not be the movie to make me get out of my fucking house.
I will say, I can only imagine how cool it would have been to see it in the theaters. I watched it at home on a big TV with nice sound. But I could tell that I was definitely like missing some of
the tower falling scene would have been pretty sweet.
There were lots of moments where I'm like, I do wish that I could be in a movie theater for this right now, but you make do.
Overall, I would agree to a certain extent. I think this is like one of the first times that you and me agree on something, Daniel. Where like the rating, I think it was an 7.5 to 8. Like a solid
I would
movie.
Totally recommend it.
I was on the fence.
Recommend somebody
Maybe
watching
I'll watch it now.
Yeah.
All right, so with that out of the way, let's get a brief discussion about Free Guy, because this looks like a really cool movie. With Ryan Reynolds, it's all about NPCs that become self-aware that they're in a game.
It's got my girl Villanelle in there, who's excellent always.
The thing about this movie is, number one, it looks really enjoyable. It looks fun. The unfortunate thing is right now,
Deadpool trailer, which was good.
Yeah, because this was shot by Fox, I think, which is now under the Disney house, so they could do whatever the hell they want with promotional stuff, which is
And Taika Waititi's also in the movie.
Exactly. So
he got his character.
He's also in Suicide Squad, so he's in everything right now.
But he's hot. He's good at his jobs.
As far as this movie goes, though, it's only released in theaters, which makes it hard to watch right now.
Right.
After what we've been experiencing this past year, obviously streaming at home is a lot easier for time commitments and stuff like that. So I wanted to see it before we recorded. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. But anyways, ever since the very first trailer came out for this movie, I've been hooked, which was at this point a year and a half ago. It was before COVID.
Yeah, it was a long time
I thought this movie came out,
which is so funny because
the trailers jokes about.
Yeah. I know, which is great.
I think the reason is COVID, though. I think it was probably
you're right
because of that. But
time's become a black hole. It has no meaning. Flat circle.
But anyways, when I first saw this trailer, I was hooked, and I knew exactly in my head what I wanted this movie to be, which I know I'm setting myself up for disappointment because later in the trailer, it already just proved that it's not going to be that movie, and that's fine. I still think, like I said, it looks like a fun movie. I think it will be great. The movie I want it to be, which I know it's not, is I want it to be a Truman Show type movie. I wanted it to be not necessarily a serious, but like it's fine to have a comedy. Truman Show had a lot of comedy in it, but it had a deeper, story to it where you're like, what is the purpose of my life, basically? Because I'm like, life doesn't matter. I'm just an NPC. I think they could have some
existential dread.
I think it could have been a very interesting mix of Truman Show mixed with Groundhog Day, almost in a way. And I think that would have been a great movie. This movie is just a comedy.
I worry that's not much to stretch an hour and a half. I don't know. I think
it could be done. I know this movie is not that. It's like I said, I think it's gonna be entertaining.
I just worry
regardless.
you might run out of material pretty fast.
I thought it looked dumb. I thought this was gonna bomb, so I've been proven very wrong already.
So I think what to your point, Ryan, it's going to be that for like the first maybe not so much the Truman Show, but it's definitely going to be like a Groundhog's Day. I think the very like beginning of the movie, like very quick,
but
and then he realizes it and then he moves on from there.
I mean,
but
yes,
I know
to an extent, but like I don't think it's going to be straight comedy straight through. Like it's not going to stop is what it's going to happen, which is fine. That's what the movie's trying to be. I know, and like I said in my head, I would like it to have taken it to maybe a slightly more dramatic moment, because I think that would... Ryan Reynolds is a good actor. He is a really good comedic actor. He's a good serious actor when he needs to be, and I think he just doesn't utilize that part of his acting as much as he could. But like I said, that's not the movie they're trying to make, so I'm not going to judge it on that. Like, that's just what I wanted based on when I first saw it.
Sure. Zach, what's up?
Okay, so hear me out on this. No shade on this movie, because I have not watched it.
I think you're going to say the same thing I was just thinking.
Are you? Because I'm about to say that I've seen this movie before.
Oh, nope. Okay, never
mind.
And
the first time I saw it, it was called The Lego Movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. I had a brief thought about that when I was watching the trailer the other day.
I was thinking about it, how, what you were saying about, Truman Show NPC guy, I was thinking, that's kind of the first 20 minutes of the Lego movie, of the guy running through his humdrum life, and then a hot girl flies into his life, gives him magic powers, and they go on an adventure to stop the evil businessman who wants to shut down all creativity. And I'm like, It's a fucking Lego movie.
Is it weird if I say that the Lego movie almost feels more grounded than this, though?
Well, because it has the
like
permission to be...
in the way that, like, the world of the Lego movie is sort of set up as one thing, like there are rules in it that sort of exist.
Well,
right.
This is
and
basically
then they go on an
GTA.
adventure in the world that they have, whereas Free Guy is more about, like,
legally
the
distinct
rules
GTA.
They don't really exist,
But
and
it's like-
he can kind of do whatever
It's
he
GTA.
wants. Maybe
It's
I
GTA,
haven't
but like a
seen it,
movie about an NPC in GTA.
That was
Yeah,
the
for
other
sure.
part that hooked me because that looked really interesting. Because obviously,
Right.
I love GTA and I love playing it.
GTA is fun, and like I said, no shade on this movie. I know it's its own thing, but just based on the trailers, I came to the realization like this is the fucking Lego movie.
I mean-
and I love the Lego movie. I'll watch it again.
Based on your
Whatever.
description of it, yeah, it absolutely does sound like it. I've actually I haven't seen the Lego movie myself, so
Bro,
I
you
can't
should
make
watch
that.
the Lego movie.
It's
Lego
it's not
movie
one that
bangs.
I don't want to watch. It's one I just haven't. It's,
No, I know.
It's like
There's
Wonder Woman.
100
I haven't watched the first Wonder Woman movie. Like I just
Lego movie's
it's
better.
Just hasn't
Right.
been on my.
Yes, you have.
I'll throw the
What's
Blu-ray.
Free
at you.
Guy's rated?
You've seen the Wonder Woman movie. You've seen Captain
PG-13?
America, right?
I mean, I understand.
Just replace Captain America with Wonder Woman, and you've seen it.
You know what's funny is the Lego movie is actually the first feature film Wonder Woman was ever in.
That's kind of funny.
No
I mean,
way, really?
It's funny,
Yeah.
but also really
shit.
sad.
It is. The Wonder Woman movie came out after the Lego movie. Wonder Woman's, I mean, briefly, it's a cameo, but she's
When-
in Lego movie.
Did Batman vs Superman come out after Lego Movie then?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
My question is, do you guys think, like,
Anyway,
do you guys
That's
think
a
that maybe we're just
tangent.
getting a little old? That maybe this movie is intended for people that are just like a little bit younger than us, though?
Those damn 12-year-olds
Probably,
that I
yeah.
see on Fortnite.
You know,
and-
just like
The kids
teenagers,
are
I
on
mean.
GTA.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, I mean, like I said, when I want to see this movie, like it looks exactly up my alley. It's just like I said in my head. I just had another movie idea that I thought would be cool.
you set
I think
yourself
this movie-
up for disappointment.
Well,
I get
like I
where
said,
you're coming from, though, both of you. Like,
I'm fine with it being what it is. Like I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
I'm fine with
but-
it being the Lego movie. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm very
yeah,
curious. I can't wait to see what you guys think.
Yeah.
We'll report back.
Let's talk about the Avengers game. It had a huge update compared to its, original.
Huge file size wise.
It was
Size.
at least for the PC version. It was 35 gigs, and the original game download that I had was 75 gigs.
Mine was
almost
only like
half.
mine was only 17. I will say.
Let me
But
just double check
File
what mine
sizes are a little
total-
bit smaller because the PS5 because the SSD.
Okay, well,
Regardless, it is a Black Panther update that they just released a few days ago.
the War
I
for
know.
Wakanda.
So I'll
Yvonne Bay.
counterpoint. It was a 30 gig download, a 35 gig download, but the game is still the same file size, which is interesting.
Well, anyways, what do you guys think? I haven't played it at all, and we've kind of been shitting on it ever since it got released.
Well,
so.
Ryan, why don't you go
Okay,
first?
so I know Daniel said he completed all of the DLC, not DLC. It's an expansion, not a DLC. I've only played the first two missions, which honestly I did enjoy it. I think the direction they're going is interesting. I mean, like I haven't played very far, like I said, into the story. It's interesting how they're introducing Wakanda and Black Panther into it. It seems like Black Panther has not really had very much interaction with any of the core Avengers directly before, other than just knowing that they are there and they know that they both exist, but not really together. So it's interesting that they're handling it that way. However, one of the things that did break my immersion was there were some
not immersion.
glitches. There were some glitches in the game, in the cutscene specifically. Like, I'm
Oh,
not sure
yeah,
if you
I
had
love
this, Daniel, but at least in my version,
in the
'cause-
cutscenes?
yes, which is really weird. Well, I mean, the cutscene, it kind of makes sense to some extent, but also at the same time, like, how does this pass quality assurance? Like,
Yeah.
because in
Or
the
does it?
game,
Probably not.
you have all these different skins and outfits you can wear. Iron Man has several different armors. They're all different shapes and sizes.
Of course.
They're different models. So that means you have to animate each single one of those into each of these animations. So I can understand there being some problems here and there. What I don't understand, and this is why I don't know how it passed quality assurance, is I had Iron Man in the base iconic armor that you get in the game, and that's the one where it was fucking weird. So basically, in the very first mission, you go into this quick little cutscene, and you are immediately dropped into the role of Black Panther in the jungles, and you're going through a solo mission, kind of like how the campaign is, which those were the best missions in the game were the campaign. So it was really great doing that. Throughout this expansion so far, which I'll get to more, they've introduced new features and puzzle elements that are really great additions because the game was kind of lacking in that beforehand. Regardless, at the end of this first mission, the Avengers swoop into Wakanda and there's a huge battle going on. Everything kind of subsides for a moment, and the Avengers meet up with Black Panther, and he's like, "Why are you here?" And it's like, "Oh, we're here to help, or we're asking for your help," one way or the other. Anyways, in the scene that you get shown, the scene you get shown to Captain America and Iron Man like fighting things in the cinematic, you have in my bug, you had Iron Man's helmet visor up, but he had a visor on his face.
Fuck yeah, he did.
And so,
yeah. I've seen this is a very common bug right now.
That's super weird.
It's weird.
Fuck yeah.
And then so in the halfway through the fight, as Black Panther lands next to them and they turn around, the conversation's happening, and it looks like his visor is supposed to be up, but it's not. And then halfway through the scene, it goes up, and there's now two visors that are like,
fuck yeah,
like a duck
I
bill.
love that shit.
And then,
did it come up and then it was still a visor underneath too?
like it was kind of like clipping through each other a little bit. So
amazing.
So that's how I said I don't know how that passed quality assurance because, like I said, I was using the base suit.
Right.
So like,
yeah,
something is very
annoying.
clearly wrong. Like, I mean, especially if it's very consistent. How does that pass? Anyways, in the same kind of cutscene, it loads and then it goes to a new scene. And then it resets immediately. Like, it had Iron Man's visor up and then a visor on top of his face. And it was like that for the rest of the entire scene where they're talking to T'Challa in his throne room. Anyways, that was my bugs that I ran into. As far as the update goes, my last thoughts are Black Panther seems really cool. I haven't really played with him much outside the first episode or first mission. I play as Captain America because he's my main character that I play in all my missions. So as soon as I was able to switch over, I did. But in the brief time I did play as Black Panther, they added some cool new features that, I mean, it was enough to make him different. Like, he has this pounce attack where if you hold down like the heavy attack, he just charges and like pounces onto him, and then you can just repeatedly hit light attack and like just punch them into the ground, which none of the other characters can do that. The only other character that can do something similar would be Hulk, because you can pick up smaller enemies and slam them around and carry them.
That's pretty cool.
So that's the only other comparison I can make for the character, but I thought it was a cool addition. He seems neat. That's what I have to say. Daniel,
what do you have?
Okay, so for me, I think the game is at a point that it probably should have been at, like, when it came out in terms of content.
Kind of like No Man's Sky. That's
think,
the vibe that I was getting. Is like, maybe it's like time to. Well, no, I'm not like
good.
now No Man's Sky, but like.
Yeah.
Like, it might be at a point now that people can actually buy it and be enjoying the game.
It's just that I think that there's like enough content and there are enough characters where like they followed through on the promise they originally made. Because if we were following along with the original timeline, we would have had this character out by like March or February of this year. And we finally got at this point, because there have been updates throughout the summer that have also added features to the game that have all kind of culminated in where we're at right now. There's finally some end game content. There's some special missions that they said they're going to be that they said they were going to release. There's still some content that's missing. There's still one type of mission that they promised when the game first launched and has never come out. And like, I still have a piece of gear that says you get a bonus when you do the cloning labs, but there are no cloning labs, so it's just a worthless piece of gear.
Nice.
But the game is fundamentally the same. So I beat the campaign and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll see you again in 6 months when the next thing comes out.
Well, that happened.
But it was, they added some boss fights. They were cool. I mean, the character design of Black Panther is absolutely the strongest part, but the game is just still so fundamentally broken. And I didn't want to have to say this, but like, I logged on with my friend the other day, and also I'm very close to the platinum, which I'm gonna get, but I logged on the other day because I probably put like 70 hours in this game. All right, like I played this game for quite a bit, and we got into this mission. We got into a hive, a mega hive, and an enemy got stuck in the floor and we had to reload the room. But the danger of this type of mission was if we had failed, if that glitch had caused us to fail the mission, we would have lost an hour of progress in the game, which is unacceptable. That we had to roll the dice on losing an hour of what we just done because of something that the game is broken with. Then we decided we wanted to try the Omega level threat, which is the hardest content in the game. It has the highest level. We played through the first, I don't even know how far we got, maybe third half of the mission. It was very challenging. It took us at least 45 minutes, and then the game crashed, and we lost all that progress, and we can't rejoin it where we were again. And I'm like, great, well, I guess I'm done with Marvel's Avengers for the next couple weeks, because this hurts so bad.
That's
it's just it's so frustrating that they put this content, and the only reason I was doing this dumb fucking mission is because it's one of only 2 ways that you have to get the exotic gear, which I will say, after 70 hours, I finally received my first piece of exotic gear. So thank you, CD Projekt Red, for at least allowing that to work.
CD Projekt Red?
Actually, I got a bunch. I got or CD Projekt Red. Whoops, I meant
Crystal
Dynamics.
Dynamics.
Square and Crystal Dynamics. Crystal Dynamics CD. But man, yeah. Every time I play the game, I really enjoy it for like 10 hours, and then something happens that makes me really fucking sad.
Which, honestly, I think is fine to some. I mean, other than the bugs need to be fixed. They really do.
No, leave them in. That's hilarious.
But
that shit's
content-wise,
awesome.
like I'm satisfied with the little chunks of story that they'll throw in here and there. Obviously, I wish it was more focused onto the single player campaign part. That level of quality where they had cinematics in every section rather than having the cutscenes happen in the loading sections between missions. I think that's stupid. I'm not a big fan of that. I would prefer them to actually dive into the cinematics if they're going to do cinematics, you know.
Yeah, kind of like a Last of Us.
I mean, heck, even the campaign had issues with the cinematics. There were several sections that should have been cinematics that they just had fading images of like a comic strip almost. And it's like, that's lazy.
My concern is that the amount of content they're releasing isn't enough to sustain the game in a way that makes money. And I can't imagine they're going to continue to make content if they're not making money. And I will say, we are now officially off the roadmap. There is no more promised content.
Other than Spider-Man. Other than Spider-Man, which they have talked about very recently, saying it should be coming out by the end of the year.
Also,
like
Sony paid them a lot of money. They don't have a choice. They do have to provide Sony. It was also marketed as part of as a bonus to Sony to PlayStation players. So exclusive, they actually have a requirement to provide that content. But I think it is a little strange that they have not announced anything else that's coming, which means it must be really fucking far away. Because think about how long ago they announced Black Panther and how long it took for them to get that out. And if they haven't announced what's coming out next, does that mean we're looking at 2022?
I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what comes next. Obviously, you will get Spider-Man, I think, before the end of the year. I think you will have that. One last thing I want to say about the things, there's one additional game mode type, not puzzle, but like I said, they introduced new puzzles to the game a little bit. But in the very second mission, you have to defend the network hub for Wakanda's basically internet. And that was a unique, I say game mode. I'm not sure how else to describe it. Objective, I guess, because you had to defend 3 different terminals. And you've done that before. That is something we have done with the vaults. But the thing that's different about how they handled it this way is you had actual turrets that were on your side to help you, but they would go offline. You had a thing in the center that was an EMP that would deactivate some of the enemies in your area, but it also would deactivate your turrets for the rest of the round. But it was a wave based, and by having the enemies in proximity of your thing, they would damage the network thing. And I presume if you lost all 3, you'd lose. I did lose, I think, 1 and almost a second one, because I was still trying to figure out how it was working.
I lost that a few times because the AI teammates suck.
Interesting. I didn't have any issues with the AI. The AI actually...
Oh, you haven't gotten to the part yet that is the challenging bit. There's a much harder horde mode that
So
comes
get ready
later
for
in the
that.
campaign. And also, like, I'm playing on, I think, hard or something, and I like absolutely refuse to turn down the difficulty because my AI teammates blow like that. I can't sink that low. And I played through it as Black Panther, so I was like, I was at a low enough level without all of my skills that it was still a bit of a challenge.
So I guess I
But
played as
I
Cap
found it
during
a
that,
little
so I was just throwing
frustrating.
my shield everywhere. It was still hard because, like I said, I had to learn on the go how it worked. I thought that was a better way to handle that type of mission because it had a lot more things to do. Like there's always something going wrong I had to fix. Like, holy shit, like this would be definitely better with a team of 4 people
Tense.
than doing it by myself.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all
Horde
I'm gonna
modes are
say.
cool.
Is it was a cool mode.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds, and I retract my statement about the No Man's Sky. I think it sounds more like Destiny 1. That's what it sounds like. But it is what it is.
Sounds like it's on the
You
same
just,
level
you
of
just
quality.
want to push my buttons, Johnny, and I get it, but I won't take the bait.
It's all good. Boyfriend Dungeon. We're going to be brief on this. It looks
silly and
so,
fun.
So silly,
It looks
so
great.
fun.
As the
The
way I
trailers
described
look
it,
awesome.
as I described it in our topic chat, it's Hades, but not. It's like it's a dating simulator that's a roguelike game like Hades, and it's honestly even the design of the monsters that you fight looks so similar. Like there's like this
played it.
one
It's like
wine
a
glass
simulator.
monster that looks exactly like one of the like upside down triangle demon monsters. I can't think what they are in Hades, but it literally looks exactly the same, just a different color.
It definitely took, it's the type of genre. But we should also mention it's a dating sim where you date your swords. You pick up new swords in the dungeon. They'll text you and ask you out on dates. You use them to go fight monsters.
Which is hilarious.
Rinse and repeat. It's really
So
fucking. I
funny.
love weird ass dating sims like this. It's great.
Like it looks awesome.
Mwah.
But that's all I'm gonna say about that. The one thing that I am curious about, and you kind of put it on here, Ryan, we have to briefly talk about it. Disney World's Star Wars Hotel. You said that the prices were announced.
Yeah, they announced the prices. So you guys said you haven't heard anything about this?
Nope.
Which is gonna be even better to have you guys react to this live because this is ridiculous.
Can I guess? Can you describe the suite
Okay,
to
so
me?
hold
Like,
on,
can I
break it
guess how
down.
much it is?
Break it down
So-
real quick. So it's a hotel that's Star Wars themed. You go, you stay
So-
at Disneyland,
Here's
and you get to sleep in the Millennium
it
Falcon,
is.
or
Yeah, read me the copy.
which is
tell you
so
what it's
funny.
worth.
Which is so
this
funny
podcast
because
is sponsored by Disneyland.
I wish, right?
It's not, but that'd be great.
Walt Disney, we know you're listening.
Contact us.
Oh my God.
Come
Hit
on.
us up
I'm gonna start
for
off
the
with one of the.
low price.
I'm gonna start off with one of the FAQs on the website.
No, tell the people what it is.
I will. But this is just so funny. I can't not say this.
All right.
They specifically say because one of the questions people have asked a lot because they're stupid. I'm sorry, but they are. Does Star Wars
People are
Galactic
dumb.
Star
This is
Cruiser
fact.
really take passengers into space?
Oh my
It says
god.
while your Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser voyage is not actual trip to
Hey,
space,
man,
the passenger will
Richard
experience the
Branson
sensation
did that
of
shit.
voyaging
Jeff
on a Star
Bezos is
Cruiser.
going up there. It's not completely impossible.
I know, but like, come on, like.
I mean, Disney's got to get up into star tourism at some point. You might as well be
All right.
now, right?
So as far as the
so what
copy
is the
goes,
people?
it says, see it, feel it, live it. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is a revolutionary new 2-night experience where you are the hero. You and your group will embark on the first of its kind Star Wars adventure that's your own. It's the most immersive Star Wars story ever created, one where you live a bespoke experience and journey further into the Star Wars adventure than you ever dreamed possible. Arrive at Walt Disney World's Resort Terminal. Board and launch a pod and rendezvous with the magnificent Halcyon Star Cruiser. Stay in a cabin or suite with an exquisite view of space. Throughout the ship, you'll interact with an eclectic collection of characters. Sit down to an exotic galactic cuisine and perhaps even plot a secret mission together. As the itinerary continues, you'll take the story further and deeper. Choose your path. Seek out the inner workings of the legendary starship. Learn the traditional art of wielding a lightsaber and jump on to a transport to the planet Batu, where your mission continues at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So it's basically how they describe it later on.
It sounds like a cruise, but like
Yeah,
at Disney
kinda.
World.
It's like
But
a
like-
cruise, but it's a hotel experience, and it's
Right.
because it's not like a normal cruise. It's like a themed cruise. You have
Right.
actors that are doing things, people in makeup and costumes.
Right.
Immersive theater.
Immersive story.
Exactly. It's like an immersive theater experience. You do get
it's like fucking Star Wars Sleep No More.
Here's what I'll just say, like what's included. So you get with your 2-day thing.
Sounds fucking exhausting.
You get your room.
It's a 2-day thing.
It's a 2-day
you can't
thing.
have any more than that. Okay.
Yes. So it's a flat 2-day, and you have access to.
That's one of my questions.
For Disney World, you have access to the Disney World. I don't know what the land is called, but the Hollywood section. Specifically, you have access, that's where Galaxy's Edge is. So you have access to everything in that. You have Galaxy's Edge, of course, that's included in the cost of everything. And you don't get to necessarily go whenever you want. I think there's specific times where you're able to go out.
Because you're doing Star Wars shit for the whole day.
So it's a 2-night experience with time for each day to have at least a little bit of time in the park.
I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you get your meals included. Your meals included. Exactly. I was going to say that.
Of course.
Except for like special drinks and stuff like that, which makes sense.
Right. Lightsaber. It sounds like you get a lightsaber.
Sounds like you get to learn how to use a lightsaber.
I don't think you get one. I think you'd still have to go through the whole other process.
Okay, I thought maybe like that would be like tied into the price. Like part of it is you get to go to the because it says you get to continue your adventure on the. I assume like that would mean going to the saber shop.
They say that because as they kind of state. You have the experience of Throughline where you could forge your own kind of like almost LARPing in a way, like your live action role play through it. Mm-hmm. And you choose your own adventure. I think if you're using the phone and some of the other experiences to enhance everything that tracks stuff or however they track it, I don't know. The way that some of the people in Galaxy's Edge, like the Stormtroopers and the Resistance members, will treat you differently somehow. I'm not sure how they do that. But somehow
probably have like a band or something, and they just
that's what I was about to say. So the word bespoke is very interesting, because bespoke specifically means that it's an experience that is tailored to you. So I wonder exactly how
that sounds like marketing fluff
to you. No, that's a very specific word, and that's the kind of stuff where like when you use terminology like that, it does it has to tangibly links to something.
Right, but
so.
Marketing people
homework for you, Daniel, real
fuck.
quick. Homework for you. Look up Disneyland's Rise of the Resistance. See what the wording is on that, because I've actually been on that.
Ooh, yeah.
And then we'll go from there. But Ryan, we need to know what's included.
Yeah, right. Because we're gonna guess on price.
To do that. So I'm gonna just say in general, so you have an idea of how many rooms there are. So it says here, for the section for the purchasing stuff. Imagine waking up inside a Star Wars story, your own Star Wars story. Relax in comfort and gaze out of your cabin or suite window as ships, planets, stars, and other breathtaking galactic sights float past on the majestic canvas of the cosmos. The Star Cruiser features 100 well-appointed cabins and suites. So it doesn't sound like a whole lot either, but it also at the same time it does. But anyways.
I don't know how many are in a normal hotel.
I don't know either.
Sell it immediately.
But it says each one radiating an atmosphere of elegance, style, and comfort and exclusivity. Your Star Wars story continues even in your cabin or suite. You'll be amazed at the attention of detail. Even if you fly from one side of the galaxy to the other, you'll never stay anywhere like the cabins or suites in the Galactic Cruiser. But whatever. Anyways.
Cool.
So there's I think 3 different options for you to stay. You have a standard cabin, you have a Galaxy class suite, and then you have a Grand Captain suite. So
of course.
To go over the standard cabin, this is what is included. It sleeps 4 to 5 people.
Wow.
Cool.
The configuration is 1 queen bed, 2 berths, which is basically like the bunk beds built into the wall.
Sure.
Which is really cool for the idea of what it is. And you have also 1 wall pull-down bed for 1 adult. So everything can fit adults. So the queen bed obviously is made for 2 people in theory. You got the 2 bunk beds, so that's 4 people, and then you have the pull-down for 5. You have in the amenities section, you have a mini fridge, a hair dryer, in-cabin safe.
Basically like a hotel.
Exactly. Interactive TV, a water, spa, bath, shower stuff, right?
Sure,
so standard stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
The next level up is the Galaxy class suite. It's a 1 bedroom, which that's another thing. I think the other one is more of like a smaller studio type thing.
Sure. Yeah.
The
each size up gets more room. That's standard.
The next one's a 1 bedroom with a complete living space. So I imagine like a
makes sense. Microwave, sink, all that stuff.
So this one has a 4 passenger capacity. You have a queen bed, the 2 instead of the berths, you have 2 pull-down beds. And then you get a mini fridge, hair dryer, and cabin safe, all the same stuff. And this one has a double vanity bathroom, a bar area, and 2 windows that have of space.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
The first one only has 1 window, so this one has 2 windows.
Ooh,
Got it.
upgrade.
Okay.
I know.
Wow.
And then the
All right, here we
third,
go.
the third and final one is
boy.
a 2-bedroom grand captain suite.
Whoa.
So it has
4
ample room for the
windows.
whole family, and feature a posh living space, complete with integrated seating area, and they all have the comforts of the standard cabins, plus the main suite with a double vanity bathroom, a second bathroom, so they have 2 bathrooms.
How many
with
windows?
a single vanity,
Got
3
all-
windows.
3
Whoa.
windows.
Damn! Window
And
for
then
the
this
whole family.
one, this one sleeps up to 8 people.
Okay.
So in this one,
Cram
you-
the whole
2 bedrooms, that makes
fucking-
sense.
So you
Everybody
get
you
2
know
queen
in there.
beds, you get 2
Of course.
berths into the wall, and then you get 2 pull-down beds. So 4 people for the 2 queen beds, 2 bunk
Sure.
beds, and then you get the 2 pull-down. So that's 8 people, and you
Okay.
get the same cabin amenities as all the other ones. Those are the
Okay.
3 versions.
Packages.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you get all your food. It's a 2-night stay. Depending on which level, you can have certain prices, of course, because they're different.
You get access
And
to
then
some
you,
of Disneyland.
I'm guessing that the hotel is probably right behind Galaxy's Edge, so
And
you
this is
probably
2
have like
nights,
a private.
right?
So
2 nights.
the way
2
it's 2
nights?
nights. So the way it works too is you have a shuttle that will take you from Galaxy's Edge to
okay, so then it's outside of
planet.
like everything else. Okay,
So it is
that
outside
makes
of everything
sense.
else, but it's close enough to where they just take a shuttle. I'm not sure if it's a themed shuttle to make it so like you're in a thing.
I would
That'd be
imagine.
cool.
I would imagine that they
cool.
probably
Make it like a fucking
made something
spaceship.
like that, and you
Come
probably
on.
get dropped off at Galaxy's Edge. We'll just assume that.
Let's assume.
It's also Disney World, so you know that it's going to be hella expensive. Is there anything else that's like crazy that
something
would...
else I need to say too. So it is per person.
Okay.
Okay.
And
The cost you're about to say is per person.
it's well.
So you. So
I'll
wait.
tell you. I'll tell you both. Because they have it what it is for the voyage, and then what it breaks down per guest.
Got it.
Because like if I'm
Okay,
trying to
so-
cram 8 people into a room.
So they break it down per person, but it's really per room,
Okay.
is what it sounds like.
Yes and no. I think some of the
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it
out.
out. Another thing I'm going to say about this is their pricing says starting from. That's the other big thing. So this is
Sure.
not including.
Peak times, it'll be more.
So that
So
yeah,
you
'cause
can
can
add
like
more packages
add on
into your
whatever
thing
the
as well.
fast
Okay.
passes and
Well,
shit.
here
Okay.
here's the other thing too. So I say not only is it saying starting at, the highest that they go up to is 4 guests per cabin. So they don't even include the one that has like the higher tier, like grand
Right.
suite. These are just in general per person
Sure. Like a-
estimations.
Like a family of 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So
the
let's
damage?
go for the lowest one. I'm gonna go ahead and guess. So if it's 2-night stay, the hotel itself would probably cost, I mean, you're probably looking at 1,000 right there. Then you add all of the amenities and all of the experiences on top of that, the food. Food itself is already going to be another, I would say probably 500 just because of the experience itself. And then you have the other, like the actual storyline and all of this stuff. I would say that starting for the lowest base package, I'm going with 3,500 per person.
Per person.
I was gonna
Per
say
person. I think, or are we talking
person.
about like per voyage?
Are you talking about for the whole thing?
for the room.
For the room itself, I would probably say like 5. If we're going like base package, like if they can do
Okay.
that, I'm probably
I'm
like
gonna
5,000.
say 3 for the smallest room for 2 nights.
And then Daniel, what about you? What are your
That does
thoughts?
sound
So
high, huh?
I feel like, in based off of what I think, right?
No, I
that
think
with all
I'm
this
gonna
stuff
go back to my
included,
35.
that we're probably thinking like,
Stand in the strength of your convictions.
I was trying to decide because I think it's probably like $2,000. But if the amount, maybe that's for 4 people, so maybe it's like $500 a night per person. So let's say for the base one, like 2,500 with 5 people, so 5,000 for 2 nights.
I'm gonna go back to my 3,500.
So here's what the 2 guests per cabin lowest tier is.
Okay, 3,500.
It is $1,209 or $1,209 per person per night, which gives you
4,800.
4,800
crap!
for
I
the
was
lowest.
right with a 5.
Shit.
Holy crap!
That's for the lowest tier. For the next tier
my
up, which is
God.
for 3 people. So this,
I should have trusted my
which
gut.
is even funnier.
I told you to trust your gut.
What's even funnier about this one? The 3 guests per cabin includes 2 adults and 1 child, and this breaks down to $889 per guest per night, for a total of $5,299, and that's for, like I said, 3 guests.
Okay.
1 being a child.
So that's about the same.
For the last one that they showcase on this, which is 4 people, which is 3
For
adults.
the big fuck you suite.
Exactly.
Like, penthouse.
No. This is even for that.
No, this is the base one with
this is
4
the
people.
Base with 4 people.
Oh, these are
the
same
base
room
one with 2
different amounts of
people is
people.
48. The base one with 3 people, 1 being a child, is
I
40.
thought these were the 3
52,
different levels.
50.
Okay.
No.
The next one I'm guessing is probably like
Whoa.
57 or 6.
It's 4 guests per cabin, 3 adults, 1 child. This is $749 per guest per night. So it's a total of $5,999. So $6,000.
6,000.
It's just bad if I'd say
for
I'd still
the
pay for it.
base night.
Definitely. I mean, if you, I would save up to do this, but
I'd
yeah,
pay
I'd
for
probably-
it.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I would
guys-
do
I would
this.
want
This
to do it.
sounds-
It
This
sounds
sounds
really
cool.
cool.
Okay. Top tier, what is it, Ryan? I'm gonna go with the
I
big
don't have
swinging.
anything. I don't have.
They don't have anything. They just said
$6,000 is the
base.
highest it goes. Who knows how much this is at the highest?
Oh, shit.
$6,000 is
So
already a
they
lot of
only
money
list
for
the
2
smallest
nights.
room?
Because you got to look at it like that's so much money
I'm gonna say
for
at least 12 for the
2
biggest room.
nights. But
Guys, I want to put something out there. All right, I think this is how. I think let's put a stretch goal out there for the 4 of us.
God.
right now.
Stretch goal. God damn.
When we'll know we've made it when we are making enough from this podcast that we do that we can all pay for us 4 to go.
If you want
For
some
2
on the
nights,
ground
we'll-
hardcore coverage of the Galaxy's Edge hotel experience, subscribe to our Patreon, and we will go there.
Cause just think, yeah, for the 4 of us, let's see, we each need to cover like what? If it was 4 adults instead of, what would that end up
It'd
being?
be 1,500. It'd be 1,500. And then you have to like think about flights, and you have to think about like other types of stuff that we would want to get there. So it's probably gonna be like a $3,000.
Yeah. So the next time when our business has just
Each.
an extra $10,000 lying around,
12.
$12,000 lying around, that feels like a stretch. Why would we need 12? Flights aren't that expensive.
4 of us. But we have to think about like transportation. We have to think about. I mean,
I know,
are
but
we only staying there for 2 days?
Our airfare and transportation is going to be, yes, we're only staying there for 2 days. Are you kidding? With the amount of money we're spending?
I don't want to be in Florida any longer than that.
Yeah, so next time, yeah. Anyway, that's a stretch goal. Someday, we're all for it. We're going to go.
If you want on the ground coverage, guerrilla tactics, like
We'll
hardcore
kickstart.
investigation.
Yeah, we'll take down
Subscribe
the
to Patreon.
Empire from within.
Yeah.
I
Or maybe
promise
we'll join
we will
them.
stream the whole thing too.
I'll stream yeah,
I will
absolutely.
Not the whole
literally
thing.
stream myself sleeping.
I can
if that's what it
promise-
takes.
I can promise
That'll
a
be a stretch
vlog.
goal. That'll be a stretch
Oh
goal.
my God.
If we make
Do a
15,
Kickstarter.
Just do a
I
Kickstarter.
already have tier ideas. Donate $1,000. You get to
Check us out
design
on
the
Patreon.
character that we're gonna have to LARP as the whole
oh,
time.
we have to
we're
actually
there.
RP it. Oh, that would be
that's
so
another
sick.
thing.
$1,000. You got to donate $1,000 if you want to write a script for us.
That's
for how
another
we're
thing.
gonna act.
Is you can, unlike the Disney parks, you can actually fully dress up, which is a kind of a
That's
cool
cool.
thing
Pretty
that you
dope.
do.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you can't do
I'll
that.
be
Anyways,
I'll be a Wookiee if we
I'll
hit
be
20.
a giant.
Bash.
I will literally walk around and be like, just to people, just like straight up.
Can I try a slightly different tactic at this?
Yeah.
Disney, if you'd like to sponsor
Oh my
a
gosh.
review of your hotel,
Yeah.
we will
There you go.
Look,
give a complete
Stranger
up and
Things.
down, super positive, glowing review of
But
your
accurate.
hotel.
It's not a bribe.
Yeah.
We'll give you our real thoughts.
A super accurate, glowing review of the experience, and we will let everybody know that they need to
Look,
save
it
up
could
and
happen.
pay for this.
Because
it could happen.
This is a little bit off topic, but I heard an amazing story the other day that some YouTube podcast that has like 30 subscribers, so someone who is of comparable size to us, randomly requested the woman who plays the Doctor on Doctor Who right now to come on their podcast, and she agreed. And she went on their podcast and
Sometimes
broke
you just gotta
massive news about a new Xenoblade game. So
rules.
like, guys, we should just be asking anybody.
Yeah.
You never
Sometimes
know.
you just gotta ask. What do I always tell you
this
people?
dumb podcast got blown up because she like dropped a huge bomb and it like got covered by everybody.
Hell yeah.
That's
So,
fucking awesome.
Disney.
So Disney, hit
interesting
us
to
up.
see
We
their
can be that
subs.
bomb.
Sponsor us a trip
All
to your
right.
hotel.
We are already an hour in. We are so behind schedule. Let's get into our 1 minute one shot segment where one of us is going to be taking on the role of the DM and creating a simple obstacle that we have to solve. For this month's segment, Daniel.
Yes.
Take
So
it
you're
away.
level 5 in a Star Wars hotel.
Not quite. So let me
my
just
God,
say
we're
that
still
this
on
one,
it.
I decided I wanted to impose a couple of restrictions for this one right off the bat
Okay,
before I get into
okay.
the scenario.
Interesting.
Okay? So no wizards, no bards.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No wizards, no bards.
Okay.
Everything else is fair game. We'll talk about level here in a moment.
All right.
I got the idea for this from one of our very early kind of sessions together, as well as a little bit of careful thieving from The Name of the Wind, for anybody out there who's read
love it.
that.
I'm into
So-
this now. It's my favorite
Picture
book.
this. You and your traveling band of companions have traveled to a far-off kingdom where you have been sent on a quest to infiltrate the court of the king or lord of this town that you are in. And you have to do this kind of as sneaky as possible. Your party has already determined how they're going to do this. Because your rogue, who was carrying the purse, got a little bit out of hand and lost all of your money. So you are now destitute in this town, and you are forced to get a little bit creative to figure out how you're going to kind of get your audience with the king. And what you've decided to do is you've decided to try your hand at a local music competition. For those of you who have read Name of the Wind, picture like a tavern, kind of like the Aeolian, right?
Okay.
Where
Sure.
talented musicians come here, they play every weekend. There's a big gathering.
It's sort of a place for people to like strut their stuff and show off.
Exactly.
For
So-
the gentry.
So your party has shown up here. The objective is you need to kind of win the open mic for the night. The winner of this open mic will not only receive, a share, like 500 gold, a share of the gold that the tavern will have taken in for the evening, but you will also get an audience to perform in the court, in the next week or so. So that's how you guys are going to kind of come at this. You have a little bit of setup time. So if you want to kind of take some action like an hour or two before you take the stage, that's completely up to you. I'm thinking you've got a 4-person party. Again, no wizards, no bards. How are you going to ensure that you and your party enter this competition and come out victorious
Interesting.
by the end of the night?
This is cool.
Please have at it.
Already have it.
Okay, great, Johnny. While
Go
these other
for it.
two are
I need
thinking,
some time to
please
think. Yeah.
tell me
I'm
what
gonna be a
mind.
Triton. I'm gonna be a Triton. All right. I'm gonna be a Triton artificer.
Okay.
Okay.
I did say
Use
no
my-
wizards.
Artificer.
Is that not
Artificer.
technically a wizard class?
No, I mean it is an intelligence based. But it's not caster like
okay,
a wizard.
Then,
it's
then
different.
Then it's all
like,
yours. I didn't say no
Okay,
artificer, so
okay,
it's
okay.
you.
So, I am going to create a set of instruments. And I will use these metal tubes. I will set them all up in front of me. And using these metal tubes, I will also use metal sticks, if you will.
And just to be clear, this is at showtime, so you're like the audience is
Right.
there, they're
Right.
rowdy, they're drinking, and you're
Correct.
setting up here and on stage.
Right. And I will use these metal tubes to create, I'll cut them in different lengths so that they make different sounds. And I will use some of my, I will cut the lights and using the magical tinkering, I will create black lights. And I will Blue Man group it.
Hell yeah. I knew that's where you're going.
And since I'm a Triton, I am technically blue. So I will one man band as a Blue Man group. All of these interesting sounds using my magical tinkering and Tinker's tools. And I will also say that I am at least level 3. And I will have
I can give you level 5. I think level 5 seems fair for this.
I'm just gonna be a battlesmith artificer, in which case I have a steel defender, which is a type of creature that I can command to do stuff. It's basically what the Ranger Beastmaster should have been, but I will have them in the background also hitting some of these pipes. So I'm just gonna make it as Blue Man's group as possible, where I have black lights and I have like different types of potions that are on these pipes, so that when I hit them, it like shoots out and makes this whole scene. That's how I'm gonna do it.
That's awesome. What do you think the charisma score is for an artificer Triton?
Probably not the best.
Okay, because I'm gonna ask you for a performance roll. I love.
Can I argue?
Okay, please.
That I can make an Arcana check based off of all of these different types of, or at least maybe a Smith's tools check. Or can I do a performance check with intelligence being the main?
How about this? How about roll your Arcana? Let's just see if your magic is successful, and if you roll successfully on Arcana, then you'll get advantage on your performance check.
I got a 4.
Okay, I don't think you're going to be getting any advantage because of your magical trickery, but let's see the performance roll.
Okay, the performance roll. Let's. I got a 12, so probably like maybe +1, maybe I'm 13.
All right, well we'll come back to you. We'll see how that ends up going.
Sure.
The other two, what do you?
I got something cooking. If you need more time, Ryan, how you doing?
I think I could do this. I was just checking one last thing here. One of the things I wanted to do won't work, but that's fine. I can dial it back a little bit. Had we been, I think.
What do you need? What are you missing?
Actually,
you need 6th level.
It's 7th level. 7th level is what I needed. Level? It's up
Tell
to
me what you want to do.
Well, I mean, honestly, it just will enhance the thing just that much more. I'm gonna do.
Go for it. Give me the full version. So the level 7 version.
Here's what's happening. If I'm level 7, I am a level 7. I am the rogue that lost it. It's like, don't worry, guys. I got this. I'll figure out a way to do this. Something that my party knows about me is that I have the entertainer background, which I am proficient in some musical instruments. So I have like a little instrument that I use to make ditties all the time. We don't have a bard in our party, so I'm basically the extension of the bard. I am also the subclass of an arcane trickster, so I can do some magical flares here and there. But not only am I proficient in this musical instrument, I'm also an expert in it because I'm an expert in performance. Because I've dedicated my time and life into doing that rather than being sneaky. That's what I've decided to do. And as a 7th level, arcane trickster, I have access to 2nd level spell slots. So what I would do is not only am I going to be playing this instrument that I'm proficient with expertise, I'm also going to use, before I go on, I'm going to concentrate on enhanced ability. I'm going to give myself Eagle Splendor to give myself advantage on charisma checks. So not only am I doing this with expertise, I'll be getting advantage on my expertise proficient instrument. And I mean, if that doesn't work, then that's fine, but
I mean,
I've given it all my all.
What you did, because I feel like when I said no bards, your immediate thought process was, how can I make a bard without it calling him a bard?
I was going to say, this really sounds like a backdoor bard.
Because I kind of, it's sort of, but okay, I mean, I'll let it slide. I guess I didn't say you can't have expertise in performance.
Legally, you can't say no rogues. That's not how this segment works.
I mean, even if you want to knock me down to 5th level, I just will get rid of my enhanced ability 2nd level spell. I'll still be doing my expertise proficient instrument.
No, that's fine. You're fine. You're fine. I'll take a roll on that, I guess.
See, what should have happened now is I should have made the instruments and you should have played them. That's what should have happened.
I mean,
or we all should have, and we literally
Ryan,
should have become the Blue Men group. And
roll your expertise performance.
Well,
okay?
I'll do that. I'll do that.
And
after
also,
Zach.
what instrument is this? What instrument is this?
It's whatever instrument we want it to be.
Well, no, you tell me.
Fine. Yeah, it'll be a lute. It'll be the best lute playing that you've ever heard.
How very appropriate.
No, it'll be a lute with a harmonica and like it'd be like a whole one-man band.
Like
thing.
a one-man band. Okay,
Let's give cymbals on your back. And
let's see the roll. Let's hear the roll off that then.
You want me to do that before or after Zach's? Because it's gonna be with advantage anyways.
Just do it. Just do it now, and I'll think it over.
So go for it.
All right, let's see here. Let me pull up the rolls.
Swear to God, if you get like some natural 20 again,
so I
swear you got it on the last one.
I got
Can't even see it.
No, I can't see it.
That looks like
5?
a 6.
Okay, good.
So
6.
not
Sure.
good.
Nope.
19 on the other one.
That's
Okay.
better.
Well,
And
with
also,
advantage.
And you have
also-
expertise.
I'm
so you probably have like
expertise.
plus fucking
Sure.
9. Jesus.
Okay,
And-
great.
yeah.
I took that into
27.
account. Zach, what you got?
So I'm not gonna be nearly as backdoor as that. So let me, real quick, to clarify, this is a talent competition, not a music competition, right? Like, music's viable, but I can do other shit, right?
I mean, I think the idea is this is a place that is known for an open mic for people playing music. You
Sure.
can go up on stage and do whatever the fuck you want, but
Okay.
let me phrase it that way. And these are the people who are going to vote. You know, at the end of
I'm
the
gonna
night,
show them
with their cheers, who they think is the best musician. So it's up to you.
I'm gonna show them some cool shit they've never seen before.
Okay, hey, let's see it.
So, no wizards. Will you allow me a sorcerer or a warlock?
Oh my God! Please tell me
Well,
you're
no,
going the way that
listen.
I think you are.
I'll allow you anything that's not a wizard or bard. I specifically left sorcerers and
No, that's
warlocks
fine.
on the table.
I'm going to take a sorcerer. And I'm a druid. There's 4 of us, right? Cool. There's me, there's the rogue, there's the warlock. I'm a druid. There's another druid. 2 druids.
Oh my God! I
We're
know
gonna
exactly what you're doing.
We're going to spend, I don't know, however long prep time we have making like boxes and hoops and
Yep.
fuck it. We're doing druid craft. We're making boxes and stands and a bunch of stools. That's very important for what's about to happen. 'Cause we're going on stage. The druid's gonna wild shape into a bear.
Yep.
And we're putting on a circus show.
Yep.
And the bear's gonna do fucking handstands and flips. Sorcerer's gonna be lighting shit on fire, and the bear's gonna jump through it. And then right in the middle, the bear's doing all these crazy ass tricks. The bear and I are both gonna go behind like a divider or a wall or something. The other druid's gonna drop it, and I'm gonna wild shape into a tiger, and then come back out. Magic just happened. Whoa! And then, I'm doing all the tricks. They're poking stools at me. It's this grand production. It's amazing. Fire's happening. Incredible.
That is definitely.
How does wild shape work? Do you have the stats of the creature you turn into, or do you just keep your own stats?
No, you get to keep. Well, I mean, you don't keep your own stats. Strength, Constitution, and Dex are the animal, but you do keep your mind, your wisdom, intelligence, and charisma.
So I'm gonna need you to find me the Dex rolls, and I'm gonna need you to do dexterity rolls for both a bear and a tiger.
And obviously, however much time we have, we're gonna be practicing all of this, and
Right, but when the lights go on and the show begins,
for sure,
nerves can challenge everything.
I got you.
So I'm gonna need to see a dex roll for
brown
that
bear.
Because I feel like bears probably are not the most dexterous, but you said handstand, so I'm very curious.
It's rad. So the brown bear has a +0 dex.
Awesome.
Nice.
On what's
what
the
did I say?
number?
Tiger?
Tiger, yeah, you said tiger for
5e.
Probably gonna have like a 12 or something.
Tiger.
And what kind of sorcerer are you, also, by the way?
I don't know, sorcerers, ones that can cast fire. Doesn't
Right.
matter. Doesn't matter.
Because you're either wild magic or you are.
I mean, you could just get a cantrip that's produce flame.
Yeah, just firebolt, you know. Okay, yeah.
Well, druids have produced flames, so you could just be all
Also true.
druids.
Well, the druid's gonna be
yeah.
wild shape, so they can't cast anyways.
Exactly. I mean, there could be another druid, but then why not have another animal? It doesn't matter. So tigers have a +2 on dex.
15.
Cool.
Nice.
Great.
And
so
also, I'm
let's
pretty
roll.
sure
Let's-
there's a spell druids have that give you bonuses on dex saves
Yeah,
and strength checks. I would be
what's it called?
casting
The
all of that.
enhanced
Sure,
ability.
but
It's the same one I
roll your dex here.
Okay. Oh,
First one's a bear.
okay. I got an 11
Okay, plus 0.
plus
Okay,
0, and whatever enhance ability and whatever.
right.
Second one I got a 6
Okay,
So the
plus 2,
2.
so that's an 8.
sure.
Oh. Well, with enhance ability, you'd
You
have
get advantage on the dex.
Oh, cool.
Advantage. Oh, then here.
So the first one is
re-roll
11.
both. Okay.
Oh, okay. So do you want to count that as advantage, or do you want a new roll?
I mean,
Oh, no,
that makes
well-
the most sense.
Yeah, so yeah, just roll now for the tiger.
11.
Okay, cool. I got an 18 plus 2. That's a 20.
So 20.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
the bears played for laughs, and the tiger fucking kills it.
Okay.
is what we're doing.
I have one more addition I wanted to add to the beginning of my set.
Sure.
So the rogue comes onto stage, very like solemnly with getting all this stuff set. And I just want to dedicate this to my daughter who's no longer with us.
Oh,
She's the
God,
one that keeps
you're really
me
just
going.
pulling
God.
the fucking heartstrings.
She's the one that really keeps me going. She's the one that always listened to me play, and she's the one that inspires me. So enjoy. And that's how he starts the set off,
You
and he just
fucking
kills it.
piece of shit.
Do you mind? Would you
Lays it on
mind?
fucking
Would you mind
dick.
just letting me know what song it was that he played?
I'm gonna throw a
Do you-
tomato at Ryan's
if
character.
you've got a title in your head or anything, just so I can get an idea.
My shooting star.
If it's like Hallelujah or something.
the lay
Yeah,
of
it's
Sir
like
Savian.
it's something that's I'll do my shooting star. That sounds pretty sweet, but like it's like very like epic, like rock kind of like it's fucking
that's
epic.
not what I was expecting.
No, because I was expecting like a sad ballad
No,
or
I
something.
thought it was gonna be some
it wasn't.
somber ass-
It wasn't like more that this was dedicated. I'm just saying like she's the one that keeps me going.
She's
like,
your inspiration.
See, but what you all don't understand is that his daughter was actually way better of an adventurer than he was.
Mm-hmm.
See, she was a bard and not the rogue that fucked everything up all the time. So the reason why it's epic is because it's a ballad of her.
Yeah,
Sure.
there you go.
Nice.
Sure.
Nice.
All right.
Good save.
Okay, so I think the winner for me today is probably Johnny. Even though the Arcana
Nice.
failed, I think that you gave them an experience that they'd never seen before. And as this is a music competition, that's really what mattered. I was surprised. I think most of my solutions for this either came down to like trying to stop people from showing up, so you could increase
That
the
would've been
number
pretty
of,
good.
increase the
That
number of
would've been
people
good.
that you knew
Oh, man.
prior
Just
to
poison the food.
Yeah, the poison. Well, me poisoning the symphony was definitely one of my callbacks.
Oh, God,
I also
I
thought
remember
maybe
that.
maybe having a sorcerer or like or a warlock or something, casting some magic to make it appear as if other people are playing poorly, or
Yeah.
if maybe the people who are cheering, the people cheering for your own guy are doing better. Just
Just
various-
minor illusion, like
Yeah, exactly.
for like one of the
I was definitely
instruments.
thinking of more fuckery with the
Right.
the other people, but I appreciate how straight up all
Straightforward,
of the rest
yeah.
of you guys
We're
were
very
being.
good boys on this segment. I'm consistently surprised at how honest we are sometimes.
Ryan,
Yeah, right.
you also definitely succeed without quite as much flair as the Blue Man Group, but
fine.
competently enough. Next time, I'll make sure that I craft my rules more specifically.
No spell casting.
No, I'm just gonna if I'm gonna do it, if we're gonna be for performance. I'll just say you can't have
Yeah.
have expertise in performance
See,
next time.
and
But
I
we'll
didn't
get there.
I didn't have any extra people. I really wanted to go for that one-man band.
Yeah, well, no,
but
and
if
I-
I had
but-
somebody like,
Well, I liked the
Ryan's
idea
character.
of you using your magic knowledge to try
Right,
to
right.
enhance your performance ability. Zach, I am so sorry. You showed up to a music competition and then you performed no music, and everyone's just like at first confused and then mad. it's kind of late in the evening, and they've been drinking, and they're sort of furious that you thought that this kind of stupidity would fly in this like relatively prestigious establishment.
Whatever.
Like this is where your winnings get you an audience with the king. So you kind of like shat on sort of like the culture of the town, and they ran you out of this tavern.
Here's what happens. Here's what I imagine happens.
You are now persona non grata in this town.
Look, man, I heard talent show and I ran with it. I don't have any way to kind of
Here's what I imagine happens is exactly what Daniel says. Like, all these people are expecting music, and at the end of it, like, you do the big finale of the tiger leaping out, do a nice big roar, and then just silent crickets, and all of a sudden there's one person and then everybody else is just silent.
One simpleton town if they don't appreciate good art.
I'm sorry.
I rolled really good on that tiger.
And these people would tell you that's not art.
Fuck these people.
That's simply not art.
I'm going over the river.
Thanks
We'll just
for
turn
playing.
into fucking animals and go talk to the king anyways.
Yeah.
Just fucking make our way in.
Figure out how to do this.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, with
Good
1 minute,
job.
1 minute, one shot out of the way, I think we all had some pretty good stuff. Yeah. We are already way over, so let's just close it here.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening to our
time.
podcast.
Thanks for coming.
If you guys want to hear more, we have a lot of content on Twitch, a lot of content on YouTube. Check us out there. And check us out on our social media. It's at TalkingXP. Pretty much anywhere. So check us out there. And if you have any comments or questions or any other types of things that you would like to get into contact with us, if you have any ideas or questions for things that we might want to do later, email us at asktalkingxp@gmail.com. Or you can just comment on one of our YouTube videos or something like that. And make sure to join us live on Twitch every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We're playing Minecraft on Wednesdays. I know I already said that we're playing D&D on Mondays, so
Minecraft
yeah, we'll have some discussion
Wednesdays.
topics. Yeah, Minecraft on Wednesdays. So, anyways, join us there. We'll see you on our next one, and yeah.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Make sure to level up.
Don't forget
Oh,
that.
shit, I did it wrong. Make sure to level up, and we'll see you next time. There we go. Bye, everyone.
Oh, yeah, and Space Jam 2 was kind of bad, but not in a funny way.